Okay, take two. Okay, now you've had some time to think about the scratchings I put on the paper last night. And with your background and everything, you've been able to kind of visualize all this in your head. Okay, now I'm going to show you. I could have done this last night, but I wanted you to think about it for a little while. Okay, here in my box, 220 breaker. I had to make some space for it because you can see right here, these are actually what they call duplex breakers. They're just for 110, but you can actually run two different circuits off of that one single breaker space. Okay, but anyway, that's regardless. That's if you need to free up some space, you can go get a couple of, take out the old 110, the single pole breakers, and you can replace them with a dual pole, and that way it frees up a space. Okay, anyway, here's my 220 breaker that I'm going to feed, that actually feeds my range, or will feed my range when I get it hooked in. But anyway, you see there's the black wire and the white wire. Ground wire's up here, runs up and goes into the ground bar back in there. You can hardly see it because it's kind of dark. But anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, this runs out. Right there, runs out. And this, for you guys, this would be what you're going to run your wire out to the garage. Runs all the way out through the house. And here into the switch box. Okay, now this switch box, this is if you don't want to put a breaker out in the garage, you can buy us a breaker like I showed you last night, and a box, or you can just go with something real cheap. And I mean, this is cheap. It's only like $8 or $9. This is just a basic air conditioner disconnect box. Okay, you'll have a plate on it. You pull that plate off, and that'll show you the wires. This is the actual switch, and all it does is, if you go in, if it's up, it completes the circuit. It's all it is just bus bars. It completes the circuit. If you pull it out, it disconnects everything. So it's the same thing as like just flipping off a breaker. All you're doing is pulling this switch out. Okay, so it's out. Okay, so what I did was run my wire, goes into the well house right there, which would be going into your garage. Okay, and it comes down the wall, and through the rock back into my box here. Okay, you can't see it because there's a hole that goes back in there. Okay, this is the black wire coming in, the white wire coming in. Okay, now you're seeing two because I've got this all hooked up to a generator too, but just pretend like one of the black wires and one of the white wires aren't here. Okay, it'll come into your switch box on this side. Here's your white wire, here's your black wire. Then coming out of the box to your receptacle, to your dryer, your welder, whatever you're going to hook up, that'll be the two center terminals right there. Okay, that's what's coming out. So basically, see, what happens is when you put the switch in, it completes that circuit between those two. When you pull the switch out, everything okay. So this would be like what would come out of the bottom of the breaker. These two outside ones would be what goes into the breaker. Or in this case, like I said, man, this is a simple switch. It's a simple box and it's cheap. So you got your wires from right down here coming out, going into the well house, coming out from the well house right here, comes up. The main wire, the main white wire, goes to that terminal, and the black wire goes to that terminal coming out of the box. And it doesn't matter, I mean, you can switch them up, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, then if you want to run the 110 circuit, you'll see right here That's a 12 gauge wire, and all that does is feed into this receptacle. This would be you run your black wire off one of your 120 side, run your white wire into the ground bar. The white wire is neutral. It's the same as ground. So you've got your black wire coming off of one side of that 220, and see, and I put it on the always on phase because I wanted my receptacle hot all the time. What you guys probably want to do is run that 110 wire over to the other side, so that way when you pull that switch out, it kills the 110 also. The way I've got it wired is my 110 is hot regardless of that switch being in and out, because like I said, I'm hooked up to a generator system, so you know. So anyway, I hope that, like, now you got a thought in your head and you got a video, and I hope, man, it helps you out. If nothing, call me back and let me know if there's something else you got a question about. And like I said, when you guys get ready to do it, man, just give me a call and I'll try to walk you through it. Anyway, love you. Later. Hope you see this.